Hello, and welcome to the Contraband, where 6 Shakespeare actors play Blades in the Dark. I'm Ted Bushman, Gamemaster. Joining me on this tale of arboreous architectures, deadly descents, and horrific histories are Jamie Hansen, Ben Isaacs, Kristin Perkins, Graham Ward, and Carson Wright. Woo. My friends, good evening.
Sorry.
I was like, no, you're good. We don't need any crowd noises piped in, despite my clear prompting. So, good evening, friends. Remind us once again, because I just forget every week, who you are, who you play, and 2 things in Duskfall that your character fears and loves, respectively.
Whoa, that's
Yep. We're going there right in the intro. Start us off, Jamie.
Jamie Hansen is my name.
That's you?
My
right?
Pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Varric Lomond, also he, him. What does Varric love? Things in Duskfall that he loves. I would say
It's hard to start. You're doing great.
No, yeah. So this is something that I think doesn't necessarily come across, but or has not been coming across recently. But he genuinely has a deep abiding love for the people who have stuck their necks out for him in the past and who have helped him. And has an abiding dislike of
or fear. Fear was the prompt.
Fear of
Varric has no fear.
No, of course not. He's absolutely no. The anonymity that comes, like the way that Duskfall has an ability to just drag people into this sort of depths and then they just vanish into the sea of people, and I think that's the thing he's most afraid of.
Whoa, all right. That's a character portrait right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Ben Isaacs, what is
Hello,
my
name is Ben Isaacs. I use he, they pronouns. I'm playing Hix Templeton, the spider. And I guess something that Hix really loves about Duskfall is just how the air feels when times are good. Just walking through the streets and hearing people being together in their own little ways when they can feel healthy and happy. And probably something that Hix really fears is ghosts.
Good thing we won't have to deal with them.
Yeah.
All right, Kristin.
Hi, my name's Kristin. I use she, her pronouns. I play the girl, the resident lurk, and the girl loves her family's multiple, sort of like scattered throughout the city. She doesn't love everyone in all of them, but she loves some of them a great deal. And what she fears, I feel like everyone's done good fears, but she's definitely afraid of buildings collapsing. And I think becoming voiceless, or the way that the city can render one voiceless, either politically or literally.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, Graham Ward, what's up?
Hello, I'm Graham Ward, he, him. I am playing Bram Borden most of the time. We'll see about tonight. I'll answer for Bram if that's what you want.
Yes, answer for Bram.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Bram absolutely loves the night noises. Everything that happens between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. is like the soundtrack for his time. The only time he feels truly with himself, I think. It's the time when he normally is drunk enough that he can, rest and relax. Anyway, his fear, there's just, there's a lot to fear in Duskfall. I think that one thing that Bram fears is the eye of the ruling class. And I think that probably means several things for him, but specifically, he fears being watched by those who ruined his life and being watched by those who are waiting for him to come back up so they can punch him down again.
Ooh. Damn.
Yikes.
And now he's, somewhere unconscious. We don't know.
Someone's eye
At
on
a
him.
farm upstate, just really happy.
He's having a really nice time. It's a retreat.
Jeez.
Carson.
It is me. You think I would have had answers ready since I was last, but things that Aldo really likes, despite his attitudes toward them, are the people he works with or that he has. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good thing that Aldo loves. Whoever that may be at any current time. I think what Aldo fears is having Bram understand how he feels. And I'm just kidding.
I was so touched.
No, I mean, like, that's a little bit of a joke, but I think there is something real that Aldo's overcoming about the fear of confronting his pasts that has now been kind of reignited. And so I think it's switched from a fear of having to deal with it to now a fear of not getting to deal with it. So.
Ooh.
Wow. What I was sort of imagining when I came with that prompt was like, scared of loves cookies, scared of spiders.
You did not
How
expect
long
that
have you
from
been
me.
playing?
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
even
come
think
on.
about this. Man.
That's
That's
what
what
we're
you
doing.
expected. You've been playing this game with us.
You met us, Ted?
No. I'm glad.
Jamie
Man,
started
this
it.
is-
I don't know.
It's partially,
I was just
this is
doing what
partially
Jamie
the warm up. It's like, let's get in character. Let's make this go. No, I love it. I love it. All right. So,
Should have been running some underscoring under all that, probably.
yeah,
Jeez.
seriously, that was quite poetic.
Man,
So,
fucking
in our
10
previous
time.
On our previous episode, we had several interesting alignments in the crew, and then some frayed ends of strange things happening. Hix finally confronted Aldo about his strange behavior recently, which ended in them aligning on discovering what's going on with the man with many rings and the man with polished shoes, and discovering what's happening to children and young women in Duskfall. Then there was also an alignment where it became politically useful for Varric to become interested in trying to find some of these lost children. Also, we discovered in some crazy moments, ghosts attacked the yellow parrot, and the girl was confronted by a ghost named Lyran, who she met previously, who berated her for not acting, and then gave her instruction to come and find him in the Lost District, where he would give her information about who she is in exchange for her help in his hopes. So, and then at the end of our session, Bram went to find the man with many rings, and confronted him, took off his mask, and was then knocked unconscious and is somewhere. So we will. It's around there that we will begin our session. So, a content warning. Well, no, before the content warning, we should say who we are and who we're working for. Our show is delivered to you through Arcane Ritual by Ghostlight RPGs, a brother and sisterhood of occult believers bringing the spirit of live theater to tabletop role-playing games. If our whispered secrets please you, we invite you to follow, subscribe, and to take a look at the Ghostlight RPGs Patreon. I should have said whispered catechisms, not whispered secrets. That would have been much better.
Man.
Word. I just thought of it now. I was trying to find the right word earlier. Anyway, Content warning: the Contraband is a crime drama set in a dark and unpleasant city. Episodes will almost certainly contain strong language, brutal violence, sex, and horror. They may also occasionally include human trafficking and implied danger to children, though we will not depict violence towards children. Be advised. So, step out into the cobblestone street, pull the mask off your foe, and descend with us into the Contraband. So, Bram Borden. In the falling snow in the middle of the night, you stare into the face of the man with many rings. He wears a thin, subtle layer of makeup, a line of eyeshadow. His eyes, dark, muddy, haunted, not the greens of the Duskfall noble houses, blink twice. A snowflake catches on his lashes. One of those eyes is the tiniest bit milky, once wounded, or perhaps forming a cataract. You notice the pencil line that fills in an eyebrow, rendered inconsistent by a scar. His jaw sets. You see the muscles clench. You are inches from him. You are tumbling down over one another. His hair billows. You hear Emma Gallo, your former student, who by your rushed calculations is now perhaps 22 years old. She's dressed in a beautiful gown some feet away. She cries out, "No!" and is snappishly pulled back by the man for whom she appears to be an escort. You stare down at the frightened face of the man with many rings. He is attempting to reach into his belt for something when you glance from the corner of your eye the tall shape of Casimir and the butt of your own pistol hurtling towards you like an uncaring cosmic deity hurling a comet. Fire erupts in your skull. You tumble like a felled tree to the frigid cobblestone. Flakes of snow tumble and light on your face. You imagine the flakes as soft tears falling from Emma Gallo's eyes. Polished shoes are walking towards you, and you fall unconscious. The snow continues to fall. It is cold in Duskfall, and the nights are more quiet now during this darkened season. One morning, Aldo, you're in the workshop and you find a wooden milk crate. It's full of a dozen little glass baubles. They're full of the chemicals that you withdraw from rats in order to make edge. This is about a month of work done overnight. You see that the measurements are made in a handwriting that it's all marked with the familiar handwriting of Morgan, your new assistant. What do you do with the bottles?
This is me coming in.
You're like waking up in the morning because you sleep there, right?
Overnight, yeah. How much time has passed since I've met him?
Probably 7 days, I think, maybe a week, maybe a little more.
Okay. And this is the first I've seen of anything like this?
Yeah, they've been like coming regularly and working on stuff, but this is the first of this.
Aldo kind of picks up one of the bottles, looks at it, swishes it about, puts it back down, and he goes stepping straight off to go find Morgan.
Okay. Morgan is in like the second alcove of the lab. It's now sort of extended long enough, and they've just got the stuff all running. They're basically doing like prep work. They're not doing any cooking because you haven't wanted them to be doing that yet. But they're there. They're wearing a skirt and like a sort of jacket as well. And look at you as you enter. Good morning. How are you?
When did you do this?
I've been doing the last few days. I was going to do it
myself. Thank you very much. I didn't need your help with this. Honestly. Where are we? Reluctantly,
topographically.
Topographically. No, where are we in this process? What is happening?
Oh, I'm preparing the lab. You usually start with just sort of making a batch for the day, and then you have your own projects, usually around 10:30,
Yes,
11.
I don't need you to recount my daily schedule to me. Just
Right.
go bring the crates in.
Okay, great, we'll do. They head off. Bring him in and get sort of started. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
What?
You just seem to have a lot of understanding of these systems, but you don't use any of the terminology that we've used at university. I'm just curious where you picked all this up.
Over time, it's just something that has come natural to me. Sometimes
Most people say that about things like riding a bicycle. People usually don't say it about running a complicated machinery or a laboratory.
Yes, well, I'm afraid that wartime makes very willing students and learners. If you don't learn, you die.
I see.
And
You were then an explosives expert, or?
a little bit. Some of that, little bit of field medicine is where I started, but well, as you so pointed out, I suppose I have some affinity for meddling, tinkering, whatever you may call it.
Yes. I hope that's not prying too much. I'm trying to ask personal questions. But
Why do you want to know?
It's impressive.
If I may ask.
Largely, I'll admit it's a bit selfishly. It's just because I like learning, and I think if you're an autodidact, you've likely learned some things that the books wouldn't tell me. You know.
Are you trying to flatter me or something? Because it's not fucking going to work, okay?
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. It is a bit of growing up where Varric and I grew up. It becomes a nasty habit. So I will try not to flatter you unduly.
You're here for one reason. I'm doing a favor for Varric. He wants you to be here for some reason. And that's all. That's the extent of it, yes?
Yeah. Sure.
So, prep these, please.
Just, of course. Yeah. Yeah, they get to work.
I want to watch just for a second as they prep. And I want to just note, are they revealing anything to me about just enhanced knowledge of this process? I have a sense that Aldo is starting to kind of wonder why this is. I mean, this was years of work for him to come up with Edge, so wondering what's up with this.
Yeah.
I could make a roll if you wish.
Let's make a roll.
Fantastic.
What type of roll would you like to
Give
make?
me a
What do you
devil's
think?
bargain.
Oh.
I know it's only 8:30, but please.
We're in. Let's do it. Let's have a devil's bargain. I mean, the obvious one, please, any suggestions from anyone else? My obvious one is that you can push to do it, but Morgan will be more aware that you are specifically suspicious of what they know. Like that they would be aware that you're searching for that. That's I think one devil's bargain. Any other thoughts from the crew? Look at all your squares.
You're trying to. What do you want?
What I want to know is, I have a sense that maybe he knows more than he's letting on. Like, I don't know why he's so quick. Why they're so quick on this Edge situation.
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
they are quick.
Like they're quick. The measurements are a little too precise. There weren't a lot of questions, I'm guessing. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. I think that's it's like
okay.
So that's my devil's bargain. I think that they would just be aware of your suspicion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I accept this. So I'm rolling a survey, good, or study?
Right.
Study, maybe?
Yeah. Whichever. Either one is great, I think.
Study would be great.
Okay.
A 6.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's real good. they're clearly quite adept, and there's just a point in the middle of it where Morgan goes, am I doing it wrong? Yes, it's sort of noting that you're watching pretty closely, and to mark that, I'm just going to put a tick into a 4-part clock, which I will call the eyes of the collective.
Oh gosh. Oh, get out of my life. Get out.
But you are not aware what this clock means.
All right, that's
Almost.
quite good. And
Yeah.
just not to continue or belabor the scene, but I think when
You're
it's when they sort of make that like, am I doing this right? Aldo just kind of this little snort out of his nose and turns around and says, "Why don't you finish?" And then he just walks out.
I might have to consult you.
I don't think so. And he keeps on walking.
Okay, great. So downtime continues for some people. What's going on?
I would probably approach. Varric would approach the girl and Hix actually, and just make a suggestion. We've been through a difficult. Is this over the course of the 7 days since Morgan's arrival? Kind of time period. I've been quite fancying a bit of a relaxation day. I was wondering if either of you would be interested in accompanying me to the spa or masseuse. Just indulge.
I mean, I'm a little busy, but well, I haven't been to the spa in a while, and I have some coin, I guess.
You can take a day off from the parrot. It's not going to fly off.
All right, Hix?
Talk to me into it. I'll close whatever I'm reading and set it on the bar.
Excellent. Probably go to one in Charter Hall, because I imagine Silk Shore massage parlors are slightly different pensions.
Quite frequently, yes. Yeah, so you head to one in Charter Hall. There's it's a pretty business-like for a spa. Often being the kind of spa that a lawyer goes to when they don't even have the time to get to a different district for the day. But it's a bunch of Akarosi men and women who you walk in. It's like all these smells of herbs. It's quite lovely. It's warm inside. And the cost for the three of you, well, I think because it's an indulge vice, we're just gonna waive the costs of this hothouse. But yeah, you're all laid down in the little things where you put your face in the hole, and then they're all massaging your backs. You're all next to each other, got towels. Yeah, I don't know. I've not really got very many spots. Tell me about what's going on.
Yeah, could we get a sort of sauna trip? I don't know if they would. Yeah, it's like sort of steam room.
Certainly get a
style
sauna
place to have a bit of a more private conversation.
Yeah.
So
Great.
Look, I asked you two here because I'm starting to have some concerns over our other teammates.
Oh?
Go on.
I feel as though. I mean, has anyone else noticed that Aldo's been acting a little off entirely on his game?
I mean, Aldo's always a little tense. Certainly he's more tense than usual.
Yeah, he's been really upset lately. He's pretty uncomfortable with the collective situation.
I wish there was a way to convince him of advantages they bring. He doesn't seem open to anything, you know? I had to bend his arm to allow him to ramp up production. I don't know, and Bram, he's just been oddly amiable, you know? Does things. It just strikes me as odd. He feels almost chipper at times. I don't know. He agrees to jobs. He doesn't argue with things, you know?
I mean, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, obviously. It's just struck me as a little odd, you know?
I mean, maybe
If
having
Bram's
enough
not
money. Yes?
If he's not getting into trouble, what's he doing, you know?
I mean, look, I've been feeling better recently. Maybe he does too.
I mean, look, the reason I asked, I think that we all three are in agreement that it's a good thing to be working for the collective. And
Of course.
And
I
bringing us.
wouldn't paint so broad a stroke. I don't know. There are definitely certain advantages to working with the collective, but I don't trust them. And I think that Aldo and Bram don't trust them for some reason. And I don't know. I think you could maybe ask them. I mean, I know you didn't ask for my advice, but you could maybe just ask these people why. Or if you're concerned about them, perhaps you could say something directly.
I don't know that they'd be receptive to it from me.
I mean, I think we're criminals, and I don't think we should trust anyone that is willing to hire us. But
We trust their money, right?
of course, we trust their money, and they've been better partners than many of our clients.
I'll just say that Aldo suspects there are certain members of the collective that are involved in more unsavory work. That perhaps has something to do with these missing children. That word is you're going to help Robert Boom in the investigation of it.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll look into it, I suppose. It's like Bella said. They're criminals, we're criminals, you know?
Mhm.
Children go missing all the time.
Certainly. I guess you've said that before. We both said that before.
Look, I'd love for Aldo to feel, comfy about what we're doing and all of that, but have we considered we've been doing just fine? If he reluctantly tags along, he reluctantly tags along, and if he doesn't, money speaks louder than words. Someone could replace him.
Not for everyone.
For
Not
most.
for everybody. I mean, maybe most of the people that you think you know, but I don't know.
I just feel that a rising tide lifts all boats, and I wouldn't want our friends left behind because they're feeling upset over something.
So what do you propose we do, Varric?
I don't know. Convince him somehow. Talk Aldo into. I've been trying to get him happier by supplementing income, by using his skills to help us make even more coin, but it doesn't seem to be working for him. He's still miserable and unhappy with me.
don't know, maybe he didn't need another job.
But if he's got more coin, he can do whatever he needs to do. It helps.
Not if he's working all the time, he can't.
So if he had more help with the work, he could then use that free time to spend the coin and pursue his own interests.
So we're trying to figure out what Aldo likes enough that the money we get will convince him that the money we get is good enough to keep working for the collective.
Right, yeah.
Like a hobby. We're trying to get him invested in a hobby. Or maybe the theatre. Maybe he seems to like the velvet patchworks.
I wouldn't have thought of things like this. I wanted to make sure that you all knew I'm concerned for him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm concerned for him too. It's good to hear you say that. Something does seem fishy. Are you afraid to talk to him? Do you want one of us to talk to him for you?
No, I can talk to Aldo.
Okay. It sounds like you should. I mean, I've had conversations with Aldo, but I don't know. I don't feel like I should just be spilling Aldo's, I don't know, secrets to you. He's having a hard time. You're right. He's been having a hard time. And maybe you could ask him why, and maybe he'd tell you. If you really want to help him. But I think that it would be wise to consider if the reason you're asking him is because you want to help him or because you want to help the collective so that they like you more. Because, I don't know, I feel like you lie so much that it becomes a habit. And you don't have to do it so often.
It is a habit.
Yeah.
I thought we had a good thing. It feels like we're doing a good thing, and I just don't understand why it feels so unsatisfying right now. I'll talk to him.
The opera. We could take him to the opera. That costs a lot of money. Maybe he'll love it.
I mean, things that cost a lot of money at the moment might not be ideal for me. Just not especially liquid at present.
We'll get into the opera.
I thought, well, aren't you paying for this? Aren't you paying for us because you invited us?
I'm happy to pay for myself. I'm like looking at her. I'm like,
no.
I don't know. I thought we were just hanging out.
I did invite you all out for this. This is my treat.
Oh man, I don't know.
Wonderful. Great. Anything else we need to do here at the spa? Facials, massages.
He's going to get a hot stone treatment if possible. But,
yeah, I booked a facial. They're gonna do my feet after. I'm gonna scrape these calluses off.
Continue through our spa experience. Any other interactions during that time? Right.
Can I roll for indulging my
roll to
luxury
indulge.
vice?
Yeah, I'll roll.
Nice. And then because Varric has done it with Hix, he gets you can adjust the number by 2. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Up
That's
or down.
nice. All right. That was 5 stress, double 5s. So.
Oh, nice. So you're clear.
Sure. I will clear my 6 and not overindulge.
Yeah. I rolled a 5 as well, so I'm clear as well.
Wow.
Oh,
Both walk out feeling quite rested.
Your face is looking wonderful.
Thank you. You look very relaxed.
Thanks for giving good advice.
You're really great, Varric. Just talk to him. He's your buddy.
So it's going to become apparent in the next 2 or 3 days that Bram is not around. I'm curious if there are any downtime actions that need to happen before people become aware of that. If not.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. Varric, where are you?
Question. Let's see. If I'm not in my apartment, I'm probably hanging out at the corner cafe trying to rub elbows.
Fantastic. Aldo will find you there. And
Pardon me, sir. Do you have a reservation?
he walks past this man.
2 men immediately come in and grab you by the shoulders. You can make a resistance roll if you want to try and not let them grab you.
I will not do that.
These are members of the collective.
Yeah, they're gonna pause for just a second. And he's going to try to say, I'm gathering a face a little and say, excuse me, I am with him. And I'll gesture over to wherever Varric's sitting.
Yes, great. This is so great. Yes, this is in the corner cafe. So they've just grabbed hold of you, like very swiftly, but also very subtly. This isn't like a scene that is being, like the people aren't aware of this. They look at you and they look at Varric. Varric, do you see Aldo down there, or is he going to have to make a consort?
Yes, I think I see them and see Aldo. Kind of apologize to whoever it is I'm trying to talk to and kind of get up and slide over. Hello.
Yeah.
What seems to be the issue here?
The gentleman just walked in without a reservation. We wanted to make sure he was with someone. The hand claps down pretty hard on her shoulder.
Oh yes, he is with me. In fact, I asked him to come here today.
All right, good to know. Pardon us, sir. Pats you on the back lightly.
Thank you for what you do.
Hands off, and Varric, are you standing there?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's all right with you, Varric, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I don't need to roll this necessarily. I just punch you.
Yeah, he is punched.
Okay. I punch you. Thank you so much for the help, Varric.
What?
Yes, the help, Morgan. Very, very helpful. Yes.
I
don't know who you fucking is, and I don't know what you're fucking up to, but you are lying to me.
I'm trying to help you.
Trying to help me? It's fucking embarrassing. In there talking to me like, oh, so good. You're so adept with this. He obviously knows what's going on. Congratulations on your new partner. And he pushes him away, and I'll start to walk, but you can catch him if you want.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna chase after sort of
out into the cold. The snow is tumbling. It's frigid.
Out of the corner cafe because now it is too much of a scene for.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna actually put another tick in the eyes of the collective because of you punching another member of the crew in the middle of the corner cafe.
Great.
Move on.
Great, and you'll catch me out in the snow.
I'm sorry. I thought that I was doing you a favor, helping you out. All right, taking a load off of you by allowing you to work with a very talented individual.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think I need right now? What do you think you're helping me with?
I don't know. Look, something's obviously crawled up your ass, and you seem to be taking it out on me for some reason. I am trying to show you what we can do with the resources we have now. You don't need to do the grunt work anymore. You can dedicate yourself to higher purposes if you want.
Like kissing their boots?
Shit rolls downhill. Everyone has someone above them. We want to keep climbing.
Right.
Need to-
Right. Everyone have someone above them. That's you now, right?
What do you mean?
Your shit's coming down the hill, Varric.
Aldo, we are partners. We're friends.
Maybe. Maybe before. Varric, you send this Morgan to me. Let me help you. This Morgan is no help to me. This Morgan is only help to you.
What?
This
Morgan?
This whole thing, Varric, you and the money and the edge, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't matter to me.
What does matter to you, Aldo? What are we doing here? What are you doing here then?
It's those people in there. That's my problem. Something is wrong with them. We are in bed with them, and we have been.
Aldo,
Can't you sense it?
Yes, they are shady. We killed people. We blew up a bloody ship. I don't understand. Yes, they seem like they might not be good people. Guess what? You're not a good person. I'm not a good person. Everyone here is complete shit. Who fucking cares?
At least I'm trying to do something.
I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to build something, Aldo.
Mm-hmm.
Not just tear things down.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Perhaps I can work for you again soon. He's gonna turn and start walking away. And before he gets too far, he'll turn around and he'll come on back. And just kind of look at him in the eye and says, Nick, I want you to consider, please, very carefully. Look at them. Look at us. Who do you want to be? And he's gonna walk away.
Yeah, Varric's not gonna stop him, but he's gonna kind of look where Aldo left, back to the corner cafe. And then he's gonna just walk down another alleyway, like away from the corner cafe, but not following Aldo.
Yeah.
Go for a walk.
God damn, you guys.
If there's anything, were you something, Carson?
It's just, I think really quick, if it's all right.
Sure.
Just really quick. Walk straight to Hix. And I don't necessarily want this to be long necessarily, but probably finds you at your house or wherever.
Sure, I'm
Alright.
in my robe,
Great.
sitting and sipping tea.
And Aldo's pacing in front of you, and he's like, I am worried about Varric. I'm worried about the girl. I don't think they are going to help us when the time comes. When is the time coming?
Well, we need to go to the Lost District first. Yeah. We need to go to the Lost District. First things first, we need to do this. There's some information there regarding specifically the people being harmed. Okay? That's, I think, going to be a good thing for us to focus on, because there are members of the crew that don't really want to focus so much on the people who may be doing the harming for now. So let's get some clear information on what's happening. Anyone else I would tell this to would think it sounds fucking crazy, but it's a fucking ghost giving us the intelligence. So, but I know that you understand. So we have to go out there and meet up with this ghost, the girl though specifically. We have to find something to smuggle out of there because we're going to be calling on company assets. We can take the Orcus tooth out there, perhaps hoping to find some, I don't know, Leviathan oil. There's a shortage of that. Perhaps we could talk to the Keltry Sisterhood if they have any other like creepy relics or shit that is laying in the ashes of the Lost District. But we have to go out there. So.
And Aldo's got a little bit more like calm determination, listening to Hix with a plan. Right.
Listen, Varric is getting what he wants. Okay, it's a test of character for him. Let's go within. He's doing great. He's great. He loves us. He's with us, and we've worked together to create a lot of really great shit so far. Okay, so he'll be all right. You two are so fucking funny. I don't understand. I don't understand. He came to me and said that he was worried about you.
Oh, that's a funny thing.
Well, he cares about you. I mean, you shouldn't have to hear it from me. Let's not talk about it anymore. God, I wish you two would like have a conversation.
We had a wonderful conversation not 20 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing him again soon, perhaps on
Great.
our trip to the Lost District. Fuck.
Great. Yeah, get ready for that.
He's gonna
So-
help himself to some of any booze you have in the house and just kind of sit
I
down.
don't have any right now. I have some tea. If you'd like
Fine.
some tea.
That's fine, thank you.
Great.
Makes tea.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll just hang with Hix for
yeah,
however.
Yeah.
If
oh yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
sorry,
Yeah, hit me.
just to take advantage of the fact that Aldo is not in his workshop.
He can go there anytime. He's not going back there for a while.
Varric's gonna go and find Morgan at the workshop if at all possible, or wherever Morgan might be.
You find Morgan there, who is kind of like happily cooking up some stuff, whistling as they do. And when they see you, they go, Varric, and come up and grab you by the shoulders and do like a really old-fashioned noble greeting with the double kiss on each cheek.
I'm relieved to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you as well.
I have a sensitive question to ask you.
Me?
Yes.
I assume it's about my instructor.
How could you guess? I hope he's not been unpleasant to you.
Not at all.
Well, he's chosen to be rather unpleasant with me for reasons beyond my understanding. How long do you think it would take you to be able to completely replicate what he's been doing?
Would you mind if I imitate something that Monsieur Basran does on occasion?
Sure, by all means.
Morgan wheels around and stabs you in the shoulder with a syringe.
Ah!
Wait, I love him now. Tell him I'm sorry.
You immediately feel this rush of energy. It's a little bit queasy. You're you felt edge before. It's not pure edge. It's edge with pig fat in it or whatever. It's a little bit weird. So, how does that feel? Field test number 1.
God, this you're close. That's a lot. Oh wow, I haven't been stuck like that in some time.
Oh, good.
Picking up some bad habits, I feel.
Really, maybe I should try some myself. Picks up a syringe, sort of pulls back, and oh wow. Oh, that's a rush. Oh, wow. Oh,
You see why it sells, right? It's
Yes. Wow. Goodness gracious. That is a bit oily. Oh wow. Yeah, I feel that.
listen, you're making remarkable progress.
Oh, thank you. Yes. This is not entirely my work, so it'll take a little bit of time, but it's something.
I'm genuinely thrilled with what you've been able to accomplish.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the best few weeks of work I've done in a while.
Look, I know personal questions are taboo.
Morgan steps forward and kisses you.
Varric sort of taken aback for a second, and then kind of continues in with gusto.
Yep, there's it's reciprocated. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
God.
Fade away, maybe.
Fuck yeah.
I am in knots, people.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I think the girl I think it might be time for you to jump in.
Yeah.
Do you take anyone with you when you visit someone?
Yeah. I think maybe I'll approach Hix, who has agreed to this whole affair and was there, watching when I approached Lyran. I'll find Hix at their apartment or dwelling.
Right.
I think before we head to the Lost District, and hopefully other people are on board with this too. I haven't seen Bram in a while, but I think he'd be intrigued by it, certainly. I thought it would be a good idea to stop by the sisters, the Keltree Sisterhood. They know things.
You're right. You're right. We really should.
Would you like to come?
Yes. Yes, I
Right.
would.
And the girl will, take Hix, go to the Keltree Sisterhood. I'd love to scale in through a window again, but I think I kind of expect that they're expecting me. I just don't want to go through the front door.
I'll go with
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you're gonna attempt to scale as well, Hix?
Absolutely, yeah.
Great, awesome. So let's do our prowl from you, girl. So there's an old mansion in Six Towers at the northeast end of the city where the brutal cold off of the river mist bites through even the toughest boots and thickest layers of socks. You come around through the back gardens of this place and see the glass of the back windows of this old townhouse. And yeah, go ahead and roll your prowl.
Oh, that's 2 1s and a 3.
Oh no! As this is in controlled position, I think what you realize is that there's this old.
I rolled
there's this
double
old-
sixes if anyone cares.
The one thing
Oh
I'm good
my-
at.
Wait, a critical success from Hix. Hix is like halfway up this thing, just like pulls up their britches a little bit, leaps up, just climbs up the side of the building. Yeah, and the girl just sort of, I guess, has an embarrassing moment of like slipping and falling straight on their butt.
Mhm.
I just look back and like giggle at her.
It's slippery. It's the snow, the ice.
I know, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you feel perhaps distracted, girl, by there's this like collapsing tower next, like some distance close-ish to the Keltree Sisterhood. It's like a bluish ghost glow, like there might be a ghost somewhere in there. It's kind of distracted you for a second, but then you're able to get back up. But then with the crashing of you falling into the bushes, you have 2 heads pop out of the window. One of which is Theodora Keltree, and the other of which is Benjamin, the large Irish wolfhound.
I'm like looking at him face to face. I'm like, oh, hello.
Oh, hello. We do have a door.
We were just coming
She
in
likes
for a
this.
chat.
I see. Are you going to climb up as well? She looks down at you.
Yes, naturally. Hix, you want to lower a rope?
Mm-hmm.
So you're let down.
with the rope. She'll
Yep,
start
you all
scaling.
climb up in and are into the large, ancient, well-appointed manor of the Keltry Sisterhood. You're brought down in these long couches with these strange designs. Like they just look like sort of vague, like sort of Turkish patterns as we would see. But like when you look closer, you see sort of skulls and serpents inscribed on it. And you're served some tea and some very ancient-looking dishes. And there's Theodora and Constance. And even with your sort of comedy entrance, very quickly the sort of feeling of the occult nature of this family sort of creeps in, the slow ticking of the clock. And they say, "What can we do for you?" asks Constance, the elder sister.
Well, it's a bit of a long story, but the gist of it is that we are headed to the Lost District. And we're going to go there, so don't try and dissuade us from it. But we thought, since you seem to know so much, that maybe advice or a map or, gosh, I don't know, amulets of power.
Constance looks at you and says, "I'm sorry. I'm afraid I didn't understand you. You're going to which district?"
The Lost District, and the girl looked at Hix for backup. And like I said, we're not here to have you dissuade us. We're going whether you like it or not. I just thought you could help.
Theodora sort of looks to her sister. You are aware of what there is in the Lost District? What happened there?
I mean, the gate got sealed and ghosts.
Yes, that's part of it. You see, there are not just ghosts in the Lost District. There was when the power was shut down, there was a Leviathan oil refinery there, which leaked entirely into the river. It led to demonic poisoning. The people who didn't get out and everything else that didn't get out changed. Not in controlled ways like Tycherosi have adapted over time, but in far more horrifying ways.
So you're saying it's full of ghosts and demons?
Yeah, I'm saying that one doesn't go there.
Well, we're going to.
I see.
We were wondering,
well.
the reason we came is perhaps there's something there that you would like, that perhaps we could bring back to you. We've smuggled some contraband for you before. Perhaps there's something there. We're just, it's not just a personal visit, perhaps. We want to, maybe there's something that you can help us with so that we can get there safely and get out safely.
May I ask what your intention is? You can speak freely. Theodora looks at you, and you can tell that she looks sort of at your shoulders as if to indicate the tattoo that she once saw on your neck, the mark.
I mean, Hix, the business person, mentioned, of course, we'd be willing to take on a job. It seems advantageous since we are going there anyways. But I was told by a source I'm not sure is reliable that I might discover something of my past, and I think I would like to know who I am finally. Seems like people have a right to that.
Or at least a strong desire. You are communing with a ghost, then?
Yes.
Or something else?
His name's Lyron.
An old-fashioned name? Yes, indeed. Let's roll your acquire asset roll here and see what you're able to obtain from the Keltry Sisterhood.
And what do I roll for acquire asset?
In this case, you're just rolling the skill that you're using to attempt to acquire, so consort in this case would be reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will push myself.
Okay.
I'll aid you. I'll aid you instead, and just take 1 stress, so you don't have to take 2.
That's great.
Nice.
It's a 3.
Okay. They you see like Constance like reaching down to this like gorgeous black amulet around her neck. And then Theodora, and then so she's sort of looking at it. Theodora's like reaching for it, and Constance sort of grabs it and sort of shakes her head as if this was something else they might have given to you. Instead, Constance says, "What about it? We could give it to them. Ask it if they'd be willing to go." And Theodora gives a look, and Theodore says, "Come with me." They lead you upstairs, past the gallery where you see the painting still hung. They open up a big, tall window, and you see that there are planks that have been laid on the windowsill as a bridge that cross over to the shattered tower you saw earlier. It's half collapsed into the river. They walk across with you, Theodore sort of balancing, and as she approaches, they've got a lantern. You smell something strange even as you stand at the entrance. Theodora turns to you and says, "Whatever we're about to see in there, please do not be frightened. I promise this will be of help to you."
Right?
Okay.
As there's a knock and a call down that you're not able to hear very well. There's no like door or opening there. It's just like an open window. So they climb inside, and as you climb in onto sort of some other wood panels on the second floor of this tower, you see and hear a blood-curdling ghost cry as a ghost's hand reaches up into the air. And there's this like electric noise. You hear this, and this ghost, as you watch, before you have the moment to be truly terrified of this ghost, you watch as it is sucked downward in a vortex into a silver bottle that is being held by a figure who holds it a moment, leans down onto the desk, and sort of continues some work with some like this runic sort of workspace that has electric material as well. The figure turns upward towards you, and Graham, what do they see?
What?
You see a bit of an unusual face. One eye blinks, kind of, winking with a little glint of light. The other eye is not only shut, but heavily scarred, possibly missing. And probably the most striking aspect of the face is that there are sections of skin that have been very precisely cut out. The figure has no eyelid on the eye that is looking at you, gleaming. And he also has no nose. In place of his nose, there are 3 slits like nostrils of, or like a dolphin's blowhole or something. Just kind of like slight holes where his nose possibly should be. And he kind of gives a half smile with one side, and you see that he only has a few teeth. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I would be entertaining guests tonight. Please do come in."
Forgive us for not introducing our coming around the front door. Friends, this is Bardia Rathsbane.
Hello. I'm sorry for the state of things. I don't usually bother with entertaining. May I offer you a drink?
Rathsbane, like, related to Darius and Vivian and that crew?
Yes. And you hear a slight tremble in his voice, maybe see his hands shake. As you see his hands shake, you see that he has fingernails missing, one of which is bleeding profusely with a cloth over it. And he also has additional fingers grafted onto the edge of one of his palms so that the hand has 6 fingers. And he says, I don't keep up with the family gossip, I'm afraid.
I'd love a drink.
Come in. And I'll kind of hobble over to a sideboard, pull out what looks like the biggest flagon of wine you've ever seen, and just start filling glasses.
What is just as description? Sorry, Graham. What is any descriptions of the workspace? Like what it might look like to them? Like what they would note about it?
Yeah, there are definitely hand-drawn or hand-painted, hand-carved symbols on like every surface, but it's also worked in with lots of what look like electroplasmic technology. So tubes, casings, wires, spark craft, all kinds of gizmos, but it seems to mostly be concentrated on the shelves, as though stuff is just being kind of kept out on open spaces while it's not being used. He's not, but then there's the one machine that you saw suck in the ghost, which is kind of still live. And he says, oh, I forgive me. And I'll like mess with a toggle, and you see the electric charge kind of go down. And then he picks up the bottle, gives it a little tap, and then tucks it into his inside his cloak. Drinks. I do preserve my own wines.
Thank you.
I only drink from my own glass these days. It's
Someone
quite
tried
safe.
to kill you.
You never know. You must be cautious. May I inquire as to your names, good friend?
Oh, I'm sorry I was so startled. Perhaps I'm being a bit rude. And she just like can't stop staring at, like different aspects, but none of it. She's always looking a little too long.
I've been told there's no right place to look. I think it's true.
Perhaps your shoes. My name is, and she'll like nudge Hix. She'll elbow.
Really, that's what we're trying to find out.
Hello,
My name's Hix Templeton. Pleasure to meet you. We're going to be going to the Lost District.
Oh my. You said several things that quite startled me. The first, of course, is that one would lose one's name. It seems a very careless thing to do. A name has great power.
I mean, that's what I'm told. If you need to call me something, perhaps Tess.
Tess, very nice to meet you. My name is Bardia.
Gathered that, yes, of the Rathbane
Yes,
family.
yes, of course.
Theodora, taking a sip of her wine, pauses and says, Bardia is an expert in the matters of the ghost field. He has been involved in a great deal, both willing and unwilling, as we have come to learn. But
It's a long story. It doesn't have a lot of punchlines.
Willing and unwilling.
Yes, I'm afraid my family was quite interested in me for reasons I didn't appreciate. Your friends are? I guess it's just the girl and Hix.
yeah, just the two of them. Yeah. Just the two of them.
Yes, and your name, friend?
I think
To Hix.
Hix said the name earlier just a moment ago.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Hix Templeton. Pleasure.
Excuse me. The names don't always stick.
All right, you
A
can.
careless
call me-
thing to lose, Theodora says.
Yes, well, losing one's own name, quite a different matter. So you wish to enter the Lost District?
Yes, and the sister Theodora mentioned that you might be of help.
Yes, I think I can help you. If you really are as foolish as that. I suppose you'd better have company that is.
And are you just foolish, or?
I'm very foolish. Yes.
Yes, I'm
Have you ever
asking
been
if
there?
you'd like to be paid.
Oh.
Oh, well, you can see, a coin would never go amiss in my living situation. But I'm rather more interested in the Lost District for other reasons. Many things lie hidden there. And you said you seek your name. Is there anything else?
The girl is overcome.
Choking on her wine.
The wine's very good. We've been told that there might be information about children that have been going missing. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Oh, yes. Just a little. It doesn't concern me, but it may, if you need help.
Well,
Theodora sort of butts in. She says, the girl says she's been communing with a ghost and is attempting to commune with one there. I do think, Miss, if you are doing what you're doing, if they've said anything to you about the nature of the method to contact them, if there's any implications of ritual, that would be the most important thing, to know what you might do to connect with this ghost.
Well, the communing with spirits is an ancient practice, about which I know one or two things.
did Lyra say anything last time we spoke about
Lyran, I believe, mentioned the White Gate.
the White Gate? Yes, that's in my notes. It's right here. I even drew a picture of it. Mhm. Yep.
No
What did Lyra say about the White Gate? Just
Anyway, enter through the White Gate.
enter
and
through
find
the
it.
White Gate,
Yeah.
and there's the willow tree.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the ghost mentioned this White Gate, perhaps a literal place in the Lost District. There's a
Oh,
willow tree too, if I remember correctly, which I'm out not to do. It's been a couple of weeks, or a couple of days, as it might be. But
the White Gate. Now that is really the crux of it all, isn't it?
is it?
Yes. Well, my understanding, of course, is not perfect, but I have one or two, and I'll, kind of leaf through a few volumes or scraps of parchment on a shelf and pull something out, flip through.
Yeah.
Aha, yes, to walk under the willow and approach the garden, one must enter the White Gate. There is no key to the White Gate, and there's no street that leads to the White Gate. Every street connects to it, but it is invisible everywhere.
I'm not good with poetry or ghosts. Is it?
No, you're
a
not
literal
alone.
place?
Yes and no. It was a concept that was accepted by many to be a place, or rather a metaphor of great cosmic power. And they constructed a literal White Gate.
Oh.
That is what you will find in the Lost District.
I mean, a literal White Gate is great. That's not poetry. That's something we could touch. Hix. We could, knock it down or whatever we might need
Yes,
to
but
do with it.
If what you seek is knowledge from the spirit realm, then better would be to perform a ritual to, well, draw it closer to you. The way it was explained to me is that through an opening one may pipe the water of the spirit world, but rather to reach a bucket in and draw it out is much easier, much greater flow of knowledge and information.
And that's what we'll get at the White Gate.
Yes, I can perform such a ritual. I've never done it before, of course.
But you're sure you could?
Yes. I have 2 accounts where it was done successfully.
Wonderful. We're very happy to have you aboard, Bardia.
Do you accept a degree of risk?
Usually, all the time, actually.
The risk is considerable.
It usually is. We're all living pretty modern lives. It usually is.
There are likely, if I can just totally just GM my way into this, there's going to be might be a couple more sections of book that you might find. So I'm going to drop you a few more quotations. This is from the writings of Godwin Wismer. I will put this into our Godwin Wismer himself, the best. I'm going to put this into the rumors. It says, "Can the waters of the other sea be drunk by those without mouths? Will the flowers of the garden beyond the white gate give their perfume to mortals? Can the sunlight warm impure flesh? The unfinished circle haunts me. Does it symbolize the unbridgeable gap between us and the world beyond death? Does it symbolize the gate itself, the opening through which we enter the pregnant beyond? None but the powerful can bear the mark and survive. Who am I? Vainly I seek more blood for this offering. 10 souls, foreigners unwilling, were given at the salt-stained stone, and not a single flicker came from beyond the gate. Farul, who offered himself freely at the equinox, caused far more of a spark. Is my spirit potent enough? Even if it were, would I survive the crossing?" Then you also find a quote from the writings of Lacola Mazite.
Hold up, are you reading this aloud to us now?
Yeah.
Bardia is.
All right, go on.
You
I'll hold
see,
my
in
comments.
Wismer, there is significant doubt about the success of the ritual. It can be easily disrupted, and 10 sacrifices, in this case, were not enough.
It seems a little steep for our pocketbook. I'll be looking at the girl.
You would note that this book, or Bardi would likely note to you, that this book was written before the breaking, when occult rituals were significantly more difficult.
As I say, the spirit realm has been brought closer to us, and we can now draw it as a bucket draws water from a well.
If we need to sacrifice something, Aldo hasn't been willing to wait.
Oh my god.
Oh, my dear.
That is not funny, I'll say to her.
Is
I'm
Aldo
like,
an unwanted
A
pet?
joke.
That is not.
No, sorry, it's a joke. It's a joke. Please continue with your research.
You seem to have great hostility to this altar.
You'll meet him. He's fine.
He's great. He's fine.
Well,
I'm
I was
looking at
going to
her.
say that in the writings of Lacola Mazite, there is another passage which is pertinent.
This passage. Oh, I double put it in, but yes, you can go ahead and read it. Yes, please.
The others, the unsuccessful, barely considered what it was they sought. They are mad lechers who care not for the face of the whore, but simply for the freedom she represents. Beyond the white gate is communion, knowledge. Those who step beyond can ask what they wish to know, and will see all as it truly is. They will find hidden things. All doors will open to them. I will have that answer. I will know where my daughter is and what traitorous fool murdered her. It was a fascinating prospect to find such information well after the fact.
Well, I'm glad that makes one of us who feels fascinated. I'm just here with you, looking at the girl, just like somewhat like shaken by this whole experience.
I mean, we said we would.
Mm-hmm.
And you agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I mean, Badia, perhaps you can meet the rest of the crew. We could, plan a couple of things and then, well, I don't mean to rush you, but we were hoping to get there sooner rather than later. I don't know if you're prepared or...
Well,
Does
I'd
anyone
hope
have
to
any
do
other
another...
downtime actions? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I have like one more, but
Yeah.
I'll just say, we leave tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, we can rewind as necessary.
Well, I had hoped to do another year of study, but I suppose I could cobble it together.
So there are continued discussions, which we'll get to after the break. But as you're leaving, Ben, did you want to make an information roll about seeing if there's anything the Culture Sisterhood would want to help you, want you to find?
I mean,
Because you'd mentioned
yeah,
them.
I think I will. I think I'll roll on this on that Leviathan oil tip, because we have just the tech to transport that. And it seems just like, I mean, it seems fucked up to go to the place that makes demons, but I don't know. Why are people even watching this?
Things like this is a bad idea.
Great.
No, it's a good idea.
I rolled consort and I rolled a 4.
Okay. They informed you. Constance says, I was doing a bit of research while you were speaking with our guest. As you know, the refinery was destroyed when the power went down. Likely, however, the mansions on the hill, would have had private stores of oil. It's certainly possible that you could find one there at the top of the hill. You'd have to disassemble the tank and bring it back down the hill, but that would, I think, be your best bet.
I think I would check with Bardia to see if there's any, I don't know, does it matter where we do the ritual? Like, could we just like pitch up in the biggest house on the coast and ritualize, get their stores, and then peace?
Well, it is a ritual of several parts and would take about 12 hours, so I suggest we find someplace quite safe to hunker down. Other than that, there is no stipulation.
It doesn't need to be by the White Gate.
No.
Oh.
White
Right.
Gate's
Might
everywhere.
be preferable.
I'll say to her, the White Gate's
Oh.
everywhere.
It is. It's
It is everywhere. Yeah.
We are it,
And those-
it's in us, it's not us. It has dimension, it doesn't.
Yeah, I
binds us
don't
and
like
penetrates
that.
us.
Yeah, the thing that the girl is aware is that all of her dreams have shown this image of this willow and this gate, and all of them have been on a hill overlooking the city.
Oh, what? Okay, so we gotta go there.
I
Essentially.
mean, that's my understanding, but if
Great,
you
I
know
mean, I'm with you.
otherwise,
I can be flexible.
Great. Well, we'll figure out. I mean, really, this is the priority, honestly. That's all I really care about. Like, coming out with some money was how I'm going to get Varric on board. Like, there's no way that he's going to agree to this sort of thing. There's no way I'm going to be able to convince the Frost Hunters to take us there on the Orca's Tooth unless I'm like, money. So, you'll see what we can see.
All right. So with that in mind, we our plans are shaping for our score. We will now take a break and come back in a few minutes. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you after the break. we return to the contraband. And there's like a little music or something. And they're like ding 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 ding. Okay, now we're back in it for real. So, welcome back. We have just returned from meeting a new person, Bardia Rathsbane, with a lot of fingers, without a nose, without an eye. It's
his character description is 1 eye, 3 nostrils, 6 teeth, and 12 fingers.
Oh my
Too many
gosh.
fingers, not enough face.
When can
bro.
Aldo meet him?
So, it is now 7 days. No, not 7 days. It is now maybe 4.5 days since any of you have seen Bram.
Yeah. So I don't think Aldo particularly notices that in his current relationship with Bram, but at some point he sneaks in, makes sure that Morgan isn't there, to gather some items to essentially kind of move out and head toward the big ship.
Orcus Tooth.
Yeah. I was like, it's a name of a ship. We own it. We've had it for a long time.
Got it.
What's its name?
Big ship 1.
Okay, so Orcus Tooth to sort of go set up temporary headquarters to start working on something.
Oh no, we just lost.
Someone
we
is
just
dead.
lost Kristin.
He's
Oh
gone.
no.
I guess we'll pick her up.
You have to sleep over with
moment.
buddy.
And I think he'll go in to figure out where.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll head in and Arisha will go. Oh, Aldo, you're not the one I was expecting. Yeah, you got your bags. You sleeping over?
Perhaps I just need a place to work. Honestly, and some fresh air, a new look. Is there somewhere I can work? Is Bram around?
you,
Sort of
bringing-
looking nervously.
Yeah, so are you bringing the whole lab? I know your work is a bit space consuming.
No. I agree, but in this case, it is something a little more pointed. He says and
all
kind
right,
of
well,
taps a little box he's got, a crate of some things.
I see. So is Bram with you then?
No, I haven't seen him for some time, but that's not out of the ordinary. I assume he'd be here, right?
Well, yes, we were just doing some repairs, and he wasn't sleeping on the boat for a few days. So, yeah, but he was. He must have come back last night and then left early this morning because I haven't seen him. And,
Oh, he's not here right now.
I haven't seen him since
Phew.
last
Okay,
week.
that's good. And Aldo we'll get there, but Aldo will kind of go in and this is my downtime action to start a project, if I could.
Okay, great.
Real quick before we do this, if I might layer this in. I'd like to make an invention.
Okay.
I'd like to invent
do it.
something. I want to take. He pulls out of this box something pointed, a dagger, of a pretty fine make. Another sort of definitely in the same vein of his sword. And pulls this dagger out, and I want to affix to this dagger 2 barrels on either side of the blades to essentially create a Derringer knife situation type.
All right.
A pistol,
Yeah,
knife,
bro.
gun, concealed weaponry, some type.
Yeah. Don't
How
need
many-
to explain more to me.
How many?
That sounds like a 6-parter to me.
Great. I get 2 for just being good, and then
Just
if you want
being
me to
you.
roll tinker.
That's your power. Yeah, roll tinker.
Okay.
Ooh,
great.
that's so good that you get those 2 free ticks.
And a 6.
Okay, so that's 3 more.
Okay. So it's a quick build, and this is the first time in a while, like if Arisha or Tormus are around, Aldo's like actually not just like dorking around on this stuff, but is back to like really focused on this particular thing. And as he's sitting there considering, he'll turn if someone's passing Arisha perhaps and say, I'm sorry, did you say Bram? You saw him here last night?
No, I didn't see him. I just assumed he must have been in and gone. Like I said, I haven't seen him since last week.
Okay. And
Yeah. When did you last? You lot probably had. He'd probably come to the Yellow Parrot. You probably had dinner or something.
I haven't seen him. I will ask the others, but I haven't seen him since they scored on the rail. Well, I'm sure he's somewhere, Bram.
No. Do you know where he would stay if he wasn't with us? Do you know where he stayed? Who he stayed with?
I have a few ideas, perhaps with Decker. Yes,
Who's Decker?
Marlene, if he's feeling... Who is Decker, indeed? Marlene, if he's feeling particularly self-destructive, perhaps?
No. She's out of the picture. She's got a new bow, you know that.
I'll go look for him. And you're sure nobody else has seen him here?
No, I'm piloting a giant boat. I could go look for him on the canals. We could.
That'd be
Yeah, you don't have
fine.
to go on foot. Yeah.
It's not too... Well,
Unless,
won't say no to a ride, I suppose.
all right, great. I said whoever this Decker person is. So you guys get headed on your journey. What's the rest of the crew doing? Is there a meetup at
I
some
was thinking
point?
I'd pop my head in during that conversation and be like, hey, have y'all seen Bram?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was like, oh, Hix, I was just about to tell you, you haven't seen Bram.
No.
Yeah, neither have I.
He's been staying here though, right, Arisha?
No, we were just doing some repairs, and so he's not here. No, I haven't seen him since last week.
What?
Did he not stay with you?
Oh, I thought he was staying here.
Yes, he was. Yes, but we had there was a few days where we just couldn't have him around. It's just.
I'm right. I mean, he's probably fine. He's probably
Partially, we had to
just
wash
like-
the couch that he stays on,
Yes,
which he never lets us do.
right.
It looks
I mean,
quite
we don't
nice,
have to wash
as
his
as none of
couch.
you
It's
have pointed out.
couch. I mean, all right.
Jeez. I mean, he could be at Decker's, Hix.
I mean, he could be in any alley in the whole city, just like sleeping it off. I don't know.
Well, let's go look, see.
Okay. Let's go knock on Decker's door. Knock. Decker?
All right, a very tall, red-headed man with
Who is this
tattoos
man?
all up and down his arms and neck. He opens the door. He's in a bathrobe. It's 9 p.m. And he's got a coffee, and he goes, "Oh, look at you two boyos. How are ya?
Decker, you bastard, where have you been?
Where have I been? I don't
Give him a hug.
I don't particularly
Come on inside.
remember." takes a drink,
Yeah,
hugs
sure.
you and says, "Oh, this is it's not the right time for this. We should be drinking." Pours out the coffee and goes to the cabinet to get some
God.
liquor.
I mean, don't let us mess with your routine. I mean, you seem to be up to something. That's cool. Sometimes you gotta.
Not particularly anything. Wow, it's been a long time. You both look quite well dressed. What's going on? Is there a funeral?
Hopefully not. Have you seen Bram?
Those are quite interesting collection of words. I have seen Bram, yes. I saw him about 2 months ago. A friend of ours was getting married when he came, which I was very surprised to know. But he looked quite nice. I think he even put a little flower in his lapel, if I remember correctly.
But you haven't seen him in the last few days?
No. No, I haven't seen any of you. You haven't even invited me to this new restaurant you've got that I keep hearing about. I've wanted to go, but I have refused because I try to be invited places I go these days.
Honestly, it's a little overrated, Decker, but if you want to go, let me be the one to invite you. Decker, would you please come to the Yellow Parrot sometime and see our
I'm all
new
about the
restaurant?
atmosphere. Yes, I'd love to, but I'm all about the atmosphere. If it's overrated, that's fine. I just want it to look nice, I think people care too much about the food they serve at restaurants. They don't realize
It's
about
nice,
the
okay? It's
experience.
nice. You're invited.
Okay,
Just come
great.
around. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Sorry, Decker.
I'm
it's
just sort of off put by him
Yeah.
socially. I'm just like, okay.
Uh,
This
you
is
haven't
why
seen
we
Bram.
didn't like
Okay, well, we're-
Decker.
Yeah. I think
What?
This is why we didn't like Decker.
Yeah.
he's always guilting us into inviting him places.
It's like I can't read your mind, Decker. Say what you need. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Thank you.
Decker, I'm sorry. We're just We haven't seen Bram in some time, and normally I don't think we would worry so much about that, but he usually does come back around at some point.
Yeah, it does.
Could you keep an eye out? And
Oh,
if
okay.
you hear anything, let us know.
No, I'll get focused on the move about it. We'll see what we can find. He puts down the glass, clinks it down.
And
Alright.
sincerely, if you want to come to the Yellow Parrot, just
I've already been twice. I was just joking with you. It's quite nice. It's great. I love it.
It's fine.
And Mrs. Duval, I don't know where you found her, but she is a gem. Absolute gem.
Yes, a
She's
gem.
We'd
Yes.
love Mrs.
And
Duval.
have you met Mrs. Duval, Mr. Duval?
Yes.
I see.
Met
I would love to meet him sometime.
Mr. Duval? Yes.
Mr.
Why?
Duval.
Aldo looks at Hix
Why are you talking about Mr. Duval? I don't know.
I'm just interested.
Yeah.
All right. And never mind. We got to find Bram. Okay.
Put that back down. We're going to find Bram.
Wait, throws the door open again. Also, we're called the Contraband now. Sorry, that's just for us.
Second time
You
ever.
settle on a name.
moment
You can
for
come
us.
back if you want. We didn't settle on one that you chose, but Bram chose it. We have to go find him.
Yeah, it's thematic. There we go.
All right.
I think
So,
it's at this point we
keep
can
your search
loop
going on
everybody
for
in.
Bram,
Yeah,
Yeah,
can we
everybody
loop
gets
everyone in?
So how did the girl and Varric react when they are told that Bram might be missing? And who tells them what's the circumstance?
I mean, I think the girl is in the Yellow Parrot, probably. Maybe even with Varric as they're discussing the stage they plan to build in the Yellow Parrot, if that's okay with you, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think upon hearing, I might say, like, well, I mean, I haven't seen him here, but last time he came in, you know, tromping mud and blood on my counter from the, you know, fight. I told him not to come around here. I assume he's with that woman or maybe that other woman, right? Bram goes missing sometimes for a
When-
day
how-
or two.
How many days has it been?
It's been what, 5 days since anyone's seen us?
5 days at this point. Yeah.
Because the evening Brom waited for the fox was the day that Varric took him to the corner cafe, right?
Yes.
Which would have been probably 3 days ago.
Okay.
So that's where Aldo's
3.5.
going. Who was the last
Varric.
person to speak to him? How recent?
I saw him 3 days ago.
What did he say? Did he say anything? Was he acting strange?
No, he kind of looks away from Aldo and like he was guilting me about not caring for missing children. He said he wasn't planning on staying on the ship. He indicated he was going to sleep on the streets or something. I don't know. Robert Boom offered him a room. I offered him somewhere to sleep. He turned me down.
I mean, we're supposed to go to the Lost District soon. I think we need Bram and his weird ghost thing. I mean, where do we
Going
go?
where?
Huh?
What?
Oh, you haven't heard? Sorry, we're going to the Lost District. It's not a conversation. We just are.
It's for
And,
people who care about children getting kidnapped and murdered.
Well, sure.
I'm
You're
sorry.
okay
Are
with
we all together right now?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
In
You
the
were
Yellow
there.
Parrot, yes. Back room.
Ah, yes.
Have we forgotten what happened the last time we went out into the Deathlands?
Well, there's the thing is that there's coin to be made out there, Varric. No one goes out there. Like, who do you know that goes out to the death? Who do you know that goes out there? There's coin to be made.
Brace Meriden.
No, we're not going to the Deathlands. We're going to the Lost District. Don't worry. We've acquired an associate, someone who's familiar with the area, someone who can guide us through. And yeah, I mean, the hope is that we'll be able to pick up some Leviathan oil. I mean, it's basic supply and demand. You know that there is a diminished supply, and there's plenty of it out there that was just left there. We have a Leviathan oil transport ship with a crew that can operate it and can extract Leviathan oil. We go out there, we get the oil. We also run this errand, and everybody's happy.
What's this errand?
I was told by a reliable source that about the children that have gone missing, which I know you're interested in, and he also mentioned that maybe he knows something about where I come from.
Yeah. Hold on, you're interested in these missing children since when?
News to
I mean, he
Aldo,
told
right?
us about Robert Boom, right? You were complaining about the homework you had to do.
Boom has been bombarded by residents.
Belligerents. Sorry, I was
I mean,
just
I don't know.
alliteration.
I don't know,
Foolish.
Varric. You might listen to something that Robert Boom tells you. Like, why are you following him around, doing what he says in other ways, but not in the ways that actually could help him out and impress him?
I am looking into it. I just don't understand why I should look into it in the Lost District rather than wandering around Silkshore in pubs. You know, I'm sure there's good information to be found there, but
Well, one of you
It's
just
good.
tell him that you're talking to ghosts. Well, one of you just tell him. God, I'm so like tired of me knowing the shit that you have told me, but not being the person to tell him. Can one of you just tell him?
I'm like,
I'm talking to
I'm
a
looking
ghost.
at the girl.
You-
Okay, there.
you're talking to a ghost who has told you that we need to go to the Lost District to rescue kidnapped children.
I think it was more like he promised information about the kidnapped children.
And this is important to you for some reason.
Is it not
Yes.
important to you?
He said it's not. That's okay.
I'll do it. I'll come.
Listen,
Might I-
man, like,
For the
we
Leviathan
used to-
Bloods.
We
You
used to have this reputation of being ambitious people, but now we're company folk. And like that's great. Like that's great. But the thing is if we're just eating from this singular hand, then that makes us awfully dependent on them in a way that I don't think that we need to be, and that is actually not smart business sense, Varric. Like, don't be just like, give your company a little bit more credit. We don't have to sell out to the first person who's going to like offer us a seat at their table. Like, let's run our industry. Let's be ambitious. Let's go out and let's get what we can in the place that nobody dare go.
Yes. You make some good points. Both of you. Hix and Bella. I'm in. I'll do it. I just...
As
fought
I
off a-
think. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
We just
Sorry.
fought off a demon man on a train. I hope we don't have to run into anything like that again.
And Bardio walks in, I think.
This is
Like for his appointed meeting time.
Varric, Aldo. I'd like to introduce you to our new associate, Badia.
He like suddenly has a what seems like a spasm, and he holds something up to his ear, and then you realize that it's a tie pin, like one of those long tie or clip, and he whispers to it, no, not now. Hello, excuse me. My name is Badia Rathsbane.
Ardia is going to help us out in the Lost District. He knows a thing or two about being there, and he's gonna be our our guide.
Yes, I've been
welcome.
told that you wish to find the White Gate.
Wait, the White Gate?
Yes, I've been told that you wish to find the White Gate and perform a ritual there.
I've seen it.
Oh my. Is this a matter for further discussion? Or did you simply wish me to know?
I'm sorry, I don't know exactly, but I have seen it. I have been there, not literally, but I have been trying to find it again.
Fascinating. You have acquired ghost knowledge.
Hard one, perhaps.
Let's do it again, shall we?
I am Aldo, and he puts his hand out. How many fingers do I shake? How many?
I'll put out the hand that does not have the grafted fingers, so it only has 5.
Okay.
And I'll shake it. Oh, you notice a few of them are missing the, like, after the last knuckle.
Okay. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
There is one problem, I'm afraid, Bardia. We are missing one of our company. We do not know where they are.
Well, if you have no further leads, perhaps we can accomplish several tasks with one stroke. You see, when we perform the ritual, we will anyone who participates, gain access to ghost knowledge for a certain amount of time. And we can use this to find perhaps the location of your friend, perhaps the name of this charming Tess, is it?
Yes.
And each of you may try another course.
I don't want to know anything from any ghosts.
Very well. Perhaps you can help protect us during the hours of the ritual.
Bardia. I'm Varric.
Hello, Varric. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Any relation to Raspberry?
Yes, spiritually.
Slowly continues to shake your hand.
It's a long story.
Complicated, I imagine?
Yes, the family dynamic isn't what it used to be.
Sympathize.
Well, if it's okay, I would like to just do a quick downtime action, and maybe it's kind of like flashing back a little bit, if that's all right, Ted.
Sure. Yeah, I love it.
I would like to, in our first meeting, have done just a quick, if it's okay with the girl, a little bit of an examination of details about your appearance. I'm trying to basically gather some kind of asset that will help us come closer to, whatever information we might be able to get about your identity, specifics about who you are, things that we do know since we don't know your name, and use that perhaps in the ritual, even if it's just like having a clearer understanding of the person whose name we're chasing. And so, yeah, you would have seen, I would have checked behind your ears, asked you to breathe on a mirror, a little steel mirror. And also I would have, if it's okay with you, seen the tattoo on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
And made a comment about it. Now, this is something I have not seen. Not since the painting. Yes, this is Caravel's ring, is it not?
Caravel's ring.
Caravel, yes, queen.
Caravel. And I think, was the girl actually told that by the sisters?
She was told that there's the Queen Caravel who has it in the picture.
Right.
Theodore did not refer to it as Caravel's ring, but yes.
That's the name of the queen. Do you know anything about it?
I know some things, but the accounts are quite conflicting. It seems that it has been reappropriated by different practitioners throughout the ages. and its original intent is not entirely clear. However, Queen Caravel did use it and bore the sign in this very spot.
Use it like how? Like a magical sigil or?
The symbol of the broken circle will become clearer to you in time. It will be involved in our ritual as well.
I mean, you can't tell me now.
Well, it symbolized a doorway, an opening, but only a slight one. Because if the opening becomes too large, the occult power is so tremendous it cannot be contained.
Right.
Some of the oldest occult texts of Duskfall, including the portrait that you speak of that the Sisterhood has shared, show the symbol as representative of great occult powers. So many cults have imitated and tried to appropriate it, as I said.
I mean, I don't mess with cults or poetry or ghosts, but
No, but it seems that you were subject to a ritual, or at least involved in one.
Right. I mean, I don't know about all that. I just know, well, I suspect that I might be from the Lost District. That I was found as a baby floating in the river. I've grown up here, but I think I have a connection there.
If you're okay, I'll take your hand and just kind of squeeze it gently and say, "You are a very special treasure, aren't you? I would like to make further inquiries as to what you do remember of your past, but we have very little time. I have some preparations to make, and I will see you at nightfall."
Right. And she'll sort of extract uncomfortable touch, like extract her hand. She'll cough uncomfortably, and she'll gesture to Hix. Perhaps we should be on our way too. Perhaps there's some preparations we need to do. Thanks. Thank you so much, Vardia.
What was the name of the ghost with which you communed?
Lyran.
Lyran. Very good. No other name given.
No.
I will look into it.
Of course. And we'll meet at the Yellow Parrot at the designated hour.
I'll be out back. So if it's okay, I'd like to make a roll to see what I can find out about both the girl or I guess potentially Lyran, the spirit.
Yeah.
Could I
Great.
use some of my strange methods to try to lure Lyran?
Ooh. Yeah, sure. Let's see how that goes. Yeah.
Would it
powers,
just
sure.
detonate everything if I tried to trap Lyran?
Not necessarily.
I may not be able to, though. The trapping involves a personal object.
we'll see.
So,
we'll
all
see.
right. So, what role should I make? Some kind of maybe study?
Yeah. So the first goal is to learn more about Lyran, and then the second role is to
Yeah,
use
let's
one of your
learn,
special
because I
abilities.
would need to learn more to be able to acquire anything that would even allow me to.
Sure.
lure.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Go ahead.
In my study, I come up with a 4.
Okay. So, there's sort of the obvious biographical stuff. The girl says that she was maybe found in the Lost District, floating in the water. This is kind of not a common thing, but 20 years ago, when the Lost District was first, shut down, there were a ton of people who tried to get into northeastern Silkshore, and some of whom were just children sent out in rafts. There were about 130 children who were found in such a way, and many of whom did not survive the trip across and drowned. The girl is one of those children. The problem is there's just absolutely no point of origin one can possibly find, because it was all chaos, and the people who were getting across were paying people an inordinate amount. There was just no one was keeping record. It was just this desperate mad rush to get across. In terms of you maybe even like try to like remember her features and sketch them and try to like place her with some like portraits of families that were taken in the Lost District. There's no like major noble families or anyone super important that you're like, ah, yes, this is her. There's no like, you know, immediate resemblance. So it feels like kind of a dead end just in sort of the general shape of what you get. In terms of Lyran, you learn that this was a not a common name, but it was a name that was in use. You maybe like there's like something that's triggered and you're like, oh, I remember this piece of literature I read. It was in use a few hundred years ago, a little after, probably 50 to 100 years after the breaking occurred. So this name became somewhat popular around then, or at least used somewhat. And you find there's not like super great records, but it became popular among pretty wealthy folk and noble folk. And so it could have been he could have been a Brightstone noble 300 years ago, 400 years ago, somewhere in the range before the breaking. That's probably the best you could get.
Great.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Anything you do with that information particularly?
Do I have time to try to attune and bring a spirit named Lyran to me and hope that it's the right one, or is this a fool's errand? Because Barty would know if it's too much of a reach.
Yeah, the likelihood of getting the guy you're looking for is pretty low.
Okay.
So you think it's probably unlikely, given what you're able to get.
Great.
So yeah, just to get everyone sort of the sense of what we're doing here, you know, just the type of score we're doing. This is an occult score. This will be that's the type. The goal will be to get into the Lost District, get to the White Gate, perform the ritual, and access the White Gate. The hope is that's possibly with the mansions nearby, there will be access to a Leviathan oil tank that can be stolen taken from the wreckage and brought back to the Orcus Tooth. That is the general shape of what we're doing. Anything that anyone wants to do before we head out onto that score? Any other conversations? Benjamin?
I have another downtime action. La 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 la.
La, la, la.
So I want to acquire some sort of weapon against ghosts. Weapon or defensive measure, whatever seems effective. Something, defensive measure, really. I mean, if it has to be a weapon, then it has to be a weapon. But really what I want is something high quality that is sort of an oh shit button if things get bad.
Yeah. Let's just make a sort of general of the way you would approach that.
I want to roll hunt because there are several people who I might acquire this from, including the Keltree Sisterhood, including Pike Renford, Elias Chain of the Railjacks, who we're buddies with, including I don't know, Aldo. Including Bryce Meriden. So what I really want is I want to, after this little meeting where Bardia meets the group, I want to take Varric and I want to say, we walk with me. I want to get something.
Oh, yes, of course.
Great. So just sort of as we're walking, I'm going to say, listen, Varric, I want to just have all my cards on the table with you. My priority in this score is of a personal nature in helping our friends, the members of our crew, our business associates, perhaps. The thing is that if for no other reason, morale has been down. You've expressed concern about Aldo. Bram is fucking missing. And ghosts are attacking the Yellow Parrot where we hang because they're after the girl. So my priority in going out here is to find the White Gate. Whatever the fuck that even is, I don't even know. This is just something that they told me about. But it is real and it is affecting them. And if we can find something to smuggle back into the city that we can sell, that is great. But I mean, I just think that our operation could be bigger than what the collective is offering us. And taking care of the concerns of the group is an important part of nurturing that sort of thing. So that's just me laying it all out on the table for you. I don't want there to be any pretense that I'm looking for contraband as my number one priority, because it's not.
Look, Hix, I would do this even if we didn't have the potential for contraband. I just was caught off guard. Said we're going to the Lost District tonight. It's just, I mean, how do you feel about all of this ghost shit?
I feel really, really accepting. I feel accepting. I feel afraid, and I accept that that is going to be part of it. And I intend to prepare for it, and that's where we're going right now. Yeah, but I feel accepting of it.
Look, I'm accepting of it too. I agree with you, all right? We might sound surprising to hear this, but we can be bigger and better than the collective. I don't want to think small. I didn't know that there was something out there for the girl, for Aldo, apparently. I can't help people if I don't know these things.
There's just too many goddamn secrets amongst us. I mean, we feel like we can't talk to each other. I don't know. Aldo said that you guys talked, but it didn't work out well. I don't need the details of it. Please don't even get into it. God damn.
But we talk the way that Bram and Aldo like to talk to each other.
Oh Lord.
It's fine. I'll sort it out with him. I just thank you for talking to me about this.
Welcome. I'm sorry you've been in the dark. I've been in the dark until only recently. But honestly, lately it's been hard to gauge your priorities, because it seems like really what you care about most is making money, more than the people who you're doing it with, which is okay if that's how you feel, but we want to know it.
You all took me in and under your wing when I was thrown out by my father. I'm not leaving any of you behind or ignoring any of your problems. If you need me, I'm here, of course.
Just like walking down the street to throw my arm around you, I'm just like, I just fucking love you. Hix, the mom of the group, as usual.
I love season 2 mommy.
Great. Well, I rolled a hunt to check my sources for something to protect me against ghosts. I rolled a 5 for my acquire asset roll.
Great. What you find the door to Bryce Meriden house slams open. He goes, "Gentlemen, would you join me for a game of Tycherosi checkers?"
Let's see.
I look at Varric.
I'd be thrilled to. Yes.
Wonderful.
I remember the rules.
Come in. We've been expecting you for several months. I mean, come in.
Wait, is he actually drunk?
Yeah, he's drinking a little bit.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. All right. Now you know the difference, of course, between Duskfall checkers and Tycherosi checkers. Yes.
Yes.
You do.
Going to
Tell me what's the difference, my friend.
Well,
tell me them.
One originated in Duskfall, the other in Tycherosi.
You could just tell him if you need to learn the game, man.
I do not know the rules to the game. I am attempting to be more honest.
I'll take Bryce's cup and hand it to Varric, and I'm like, well done. That wasn't so hard, was it? Here, have one. You earned it.
Yeah, indeed he did. Now, all right, and you'll take this, and he pulls a pistol off of his belt and hands it to you, Varric.
Oh my lord.
Going to look at Hix. Right.
So,
you want to go first or me?
Good.
I mean, you're holding it, so why not? Why not?
Yeah,
you?
I look at Brace like, yes.
All right, good. All right, let's roll and see how you do at Tiger Hussy Checkers. So there's a board down on the table in between two couches. What do you think? He's not going to explain anything to you about the rules. You've played checkers before a little bit. So let's see how you do. He's going to sit down. So the first thing he does is he's got his own pistol. He's going to sit down and he puts the gun to your forehead and says, "Your turn."
Oh my gosh.
Do I know which pieces are there pieces on the board?
Yes, there are
Like-
pieces on the board. Set up for a normal checkers game, black and red.
Do I know which one I am, black or red?
Yes, you're black.
Okay, I'm going to aim at one of the red pieces and fire.
Amazing. He goes, "Oh goodness! The board just shatters immediately. This is tension.
Sorry,
tension. Sorry,
You
what?
said I'm sorry. You said Taikarosi checker. I was confused.
It's meant to add to the tension, my boy. You just, I take you take your turn, and then you put yours to mine, and I take my turn. It's just a bit of tension,
Right.
A lift for the
bit.
spirits. Yeah.
Yes. No. I see. It's always so much more fun with a gun to your head.
It's my grandmother's board, antique. Oh well, we'll get it repaired, I think. All right.
Yes. Sorry about that.
He says,
Are you?
What is it
Love it.
what is it you need from me? You're not coming around for sport anymore after that fiasco.
Well,
Brace, we're going back to the Lost District. I mean, we're going to the Lost District, which will be perhaps through the Deathlands, but we're going there.
All right. Okay. I see. Seems unwise.
Well, I mean, there's
Confused.
glory to be had. What's wisdom anyway?
We're rather determined to do it.
He kisses you on the forehead, Hix. Oh, my child, you are incredible. And he's just like, all right, say no more. Stumbles into the back room and comes out with 2 cases of ammunition. And you see that we're just going to straight up borrow the little electric balls from freaking the Phantom Menace. So these are all just shot for pistols that are electric. So you have enough that your 2 guns can be equipped with electric, like bullets that could hit a ghost and take on a ghost.
Yeah.
Our 2 guns.
Yeah, the
Ones.
2 of yours. Yep, Varric and Hix. Any guns you equip with anything? I know we've lost Hix momentarily.
R2 guns? D2 guns?
R2, yeah, D2 gun.
Stop it.
Oh no, monsters.
Sorry. Did I do
I
that?
know we're still losing Benjamin
He's
a
coming
little
back.
bit. Yeah, it's good. Yes.
I don't because I don't have a downtime action, but I was wondering if I could ask Brace for another slight favor.
All right. What is it?
The
Oh, hello.
skins that we wore.
Oh, you're back, yes.
Hello, I'm back.
Great. What? Varric was making a request?
I was just Hix. I was inquiring with Brace about perhaps some more of those skins, the suits that we wore to camouflage ourselves.
Perhaps so. What have you got, Brace?
Oh, he looks down at his shattered antique checkers board. And you can go ahead and make a consort roll, my friend.
Yeah, all right.
You can push yourself.
Yeah.
I'll.
No, it's cool.
That's cool. I don't want to hate it.
That's a 6 without 8. So
All right. He's gonna go. He's going to stumble back into his closet and come out. He says, well, I've got 3. The others are being repaired.
Thank you,
Most
Brace.
generous. Thank you.
All right. Bring them back, all right?
We'll bring these back, and we'll bring back something special for you.
For me? Oh, all right.
Well, why not? I mean, you're sort of sponsoring the trip now. We want not officially, of course.
The
but-
unofficial sponsor. I like this role, yes. No requirements. You don't have to cut any ribbons. You just get to stand back there feeling proud. This is what I like.
That's right.
All right. Best of luck to you. Get out of my house.
Sorry about your grandmother.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, come on, Brace. You're not too sore about that. Nothing lasts forever after all. Well, walk out.
Yes. Great. Any other things before we descend into the Lost District? Anything else?
I got something on the way to the Lost District.
Okay. Yep. So you're in the Orcus Tooth. You're heading there, middle of the night.
All right. I think Aldo approaches Bardia at some point. Can it be safe to say, Bardia, that you've brought those books and Aldo's had a chance to kind of...
Yeah, I have a full ass wagon that I like dragged up the gangplank or the gangway up onto the deck of the ship. It's got like a, greasy tarpaulin over it.
Awesome.
I mean, Arisha Frost probably greets you rather warmly with her like hook and hand and says, "Nice to meet you. Pleasure."
Oh, hello, you are an imposing personages.
Yes, you a Leviathan hunter?
No. I'm afraid I've removed my own appendages. Thank you. And he'll continue with the cart.
she like, you go and she goes, "You're welcome."
Oh my gosh.
You move on to your conversation.
Yeah.
And so having a chance to look through some of these books, he'll approach you, Bardia. Pardon me, these books, you are familiar with them all?
Well, yes, I've only brought the ones that I've studied.
I have tried to learn what I can. I only had one a small book that that my missing friend and I were trying to interpret ourselves, and I'm afraid it's a bit much for me to understand.
I'd like to say the act was brave, but it was probably much more stupid.
That's what he seems to think. But I am determined to find my way back, to get through the gate. I have been there once, and I can perhaps help you or learn from you if you can teach me as we perform the ritual.
Teach you to cross over?
I don't know if I could be making no sense. Is it possible? I think I have done it once before.
Well, I think what perhaps you're putting a delicate finger on is that the entire world has crossed over already. With the cracking of the sun, we are in the spirit realm at all times. We simply cannot perceive it. Have you not noticed that when a body dies, the ghost emerges immediately? Why do you think these lightning walls keep these ghosts out from our city? It's because they are already here. We are intruders in their realm already. We simply cannot always perceive them.
Aldo sort of instinctively puts his hand on his chest, where his ghost's burn is. Yes. Have you ever encountered ghost returning to its body?
Yes.
In what manner, if you don't mind me asking?
He looks at the deck of the ship like he's checking for feet rather than checking for eyes, just to see if anyone's standing around, and then looks up and says, we don't have time for the full story, but this is not my original body. I was killed. What you see now is dross.
What?
It is the cast-off, the leftovers.
This is like a body you have claimed?
I suppose in a sense, yes. You do know the forces that you move against, the Rathsbanes and other occultists. They are quite evil. There is nothing they won't do, and no one they won't harm, in order to achieve what they seek. Even I don't know what that is, not entirely. But I have been a victim to it. I was sacrificed. I was given to something what they call the midwife. Some entity, and he makes a 12-fingered gesture, big upward gesture. The midwife did not accept me. And so I passed on into this form as a ghost and returned.
I'm sorry. That sounds awful.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I hope this isn't
The sharing of information is very useful, I find. When one is seeking to know about death, one must speak with one who has died. I have great tutors myself. I keep them with me.
What do you mean with you?
I'll pull out the bottle that the others saw that captured the spirit. And I'll say, this perfume bottle once belonged to a dilettante from another district in the city. She now inhabits this bottle.
Is it possible that a captured spirit like this could be put back willfully into another body?
You are treading on very dangerous ground. Such a process would be quite difficult.
But it's possible?
Anything is possible. I have a friend whom you might speak to, and I will, if we survive this, be willing to bestow him upon you. And I'll pull out a little, like a cameo with like a locket cameo that has a portrait of someone on the inside, and say, he has things to tell you.
Very well.
Stay alive and you will hear them.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your assistance and anything I can do.
There will be plenty to do.
And I'll leave you be and read one of your books.
Cool.
Have you ever heard
Oh
the
my
legend
God.
of Dark Plagueis the Wise
Lord
or whatever?
I know we need to
about,
actually.
guys.
Okay, sorry.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. I know we need to get to the score, but I think Jean-Pierre probably approaches Hix during.
Jean-Pierre, hello. I can't believe that we're fucking doing this, but we're doing this.
It's a little strange, no question.
No doubt. No doubt.
You So we're just waiting for you on the outside.
Well, you're welcome to come and help us. I mean, we talked to Orishan. The deal is that y'all will at least take us to shore and bring us back. That y'all can hold down the ship. And anyone else who perhaps wants to join us on shore is welcome to.
I don't know if you'll find many willing hands.
No, I think not.
But I wish you luck. I know it's seems like you're doing it as an act of service, to some degree.
To some degree, yes. I don't know.
We still haven't heard from Tulip. I know you've got a lot on your mind, but it's just something worth thinking about.
I have been thinking about Julep. Thank you. Good to know. Thank you. Keep looking when we get back.
I will do. Do you need anything from me? Do you need some food? Have you eaten?
I'm okay. Thank you. I have eaten.
Okay. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
So, you arrive. There are barges, steel barges that keep the Lost District blocked off from public access. You see that they are marked with the sigil of the Spirit Wardens. There are several Deathlands gates that still exist at the border where the lightning wall still blocks it off. The Keltry Sisterhood is in a little boat ahead of the Orcus Tooth and leads you around the side and sort of on the north edge to the point where the lapping waves of the Void Sea grow rougher. And you see a little bit of energy pass through the Leviathan hunters as you realize that this is something that they experienced a great deal when they were out on the Void Sea hunting Leviathans. So they perk up as they sense this ancient thing. You are then brought to a gate. They lead you to this half-sunken gate at the north end, nearly outside the city, and you step out onto this like little tilted deck that leads it, and there's sort of machinery that blocks it off, and the Keltry sisters sort of open up the gate. It creaks open, and these rusted things, and you step forward into the Lost District. You find yourselves almost immediately in a flooded, ruined street. And you see in the distance the hill where you might be headed. I have already rolled an engagement roll, which did not go terribly well. So we're going to fast forward about a half hour later. You have just been you've been walking through this place trying to sort of skip over trash to keep yourselves above the frigid water in these flooded streets of the lower areas. But what has just happened is, so first off, let me give you a little bit of visual of what the Lost District looks like. A lot of flooded streets in this area, poor houses, most of them crumbling. The city is awash in ectoplasm, like an attic might be draped in cobwebs. Architectures of it rise from ruined buildings as if an echo of their former selves. So you see this half-collapsed one-story building, and the ectoplasm is pretending to be the rest of a building, just sort of this floaty, silky stuff. If you touch it, it's painful. It's painfully cold, and has a strange smell to it, sort of chemical smell. In the distance, you actually watch the girl. You see as there are ghosts above the whole district, floating like constellations. And as you watch, a few of them descend and they grab onto something, and you see them lift into the air an entire story of a building. There's like 50 ghosts who are doing this. So they're lifting up the building and then let it go, and it just the whole district shakes with the rumbling of this sort of collapsed architecture. A cloud passes through you made of ectoplasm, and you're heading through it, traveling, and at this moment this cloud splits you. And as you start to try and walk sort of into it, it becomes very painful to try and walk through it. But if you're able to get out of it with no issue. But you are split into two groups. Aldo and Varric, you are together.
Oh, come on, this guy?
Bardia, Hix, and the girl, you are together.
Yes.
I
Yes,
will now
we are
begin-
like in the mid-season, so this is where people pair off and have drama.
have
Yep.
little arcs.
Good.
So you are now, and both of you encounter something quite terrible. So for Hix and Aldo, you don't immediately perceive anything. You're now up to your knees in this water. Oh, Ben, did you have a thing?
Varric and Aldo?
Varric and Aldo.
Or Hix and
I'm
Aldo?
sorry, I said that wrong. Yes,
It's a
Varric and
classic
Aldo.
Varric and Aldo.
Classic Varric and Aldo adventure.
Cool team.
You are up to your knees in this cold water and see sort of ghosts dancing in the distance. Bardia, you guys have noticed that Bardia has been attempting to avoid stepping in the water at all during this entire process. And as this sort of cloud passes through, you are pushed off of the thing, and all of you fall into waist deep water.
Can I shoot up?
You can indeed shoot up. So you're going to both groups are going to have to fill a 6-part clock called changing topographies. This is going to you are now lost in this area, and in order to move forward and get to the manse on the top of the hill, you're going to have to fill this clock. So first, let's see what is the reaction over with Bardia, the girl, and Hix as you fall into this deep water in the middle of the street.
I'm watching Bardia and doing what Bardia do.
So they fell in. We did not.
Everyone fell in. Everyone.
Well, we
fell
all
in.
fell in.
Yeah, you're all in deep in water up to your waist. Absolutely frigid.
Bardia is shrieking. Yeah,
I think-
just
Okay, me
like
too.
I think Zoom would clip my audio if I did it, but I'm just like high pitched child, who is upset, crying and shrieking.
I think
Yes,
the
and we're going
girls.
to. Sorry. Go ahead, girl.
I think the girl's gonna try and like swoop Bardia up under the armpits and like lift him out of the water. She's been paying attention to how he's been stepping carefully and try and
Yeah.
get him on dry land. If there is any like crumbled sidewalk, she can lift him onto.
Yeah, that's a good question. What do you think would be an appropriate action to attempt to do this?
Oh yeah. Should we say the finesse?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable one. Yeah, it's interesting because there's not like really like a speed or strength kind of thing in this game, which is something that I often find myself wanting to try and test out. But yes, finesse I think is great.
Okay.
You could also roll a skirmish if you wanted, just like sort of wrangling in.
That's a 6.
Okay. So you're able to sort of pull and get Bardia onto a floating piece of like an old door that is floating here, and it's still like an inch. It's still in the water a little bit, but you're able to get on, and you are sort of temporarily at least safe from this. I'm going to start a clock. This is called the Midwife's Lullaby, and I'm going to put 1 tick into it.
Oh, I heard about the midwife.
I have not heard about her.
So, Bardia, you are now on top of this door. You see at some distance there is, it looks like there might be, the water might be shallower, though it's hard to tell exactly.
Thank you for removing me. If we could paddle to safety, please, I would appreciate it.
Isn't it just water? Is it something we should be concerned about? Should I also get
No.
on the door?
You do not need to be concerned about it. I will be all right if you just paddle me to a safe, shallow area.
And the girl will start paddling. God, man. What is it?
I cannot touch the water. I'm sorry.
We're gonna keep you out of the water then, Bardia. We're gonna really keep you out of the water.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you. Otherwise, our purpose in coming here is quite obsolete.
I'm
So-
helping.
Yeah, so we'll start pushing Bardia the shallows.
Yeah, that's great. Let's jump. So we'll get an action from the two of you in a sec, sort of getting your way out of here. Hix and not Hix, sorry, Aldo and Varric. You are in sort of more shallow water up to your knees, but it's rather frigid, and you're finding yourselves lost a little bit. What do you attempt to do?
Aldo's just finishing shooting up some mist, and then takes one off of his bandolier and passes it to Varric. You might want this.
It's in it.
Just take it.
You trying to just what?
Grabs it from him and shoves it in.
No.
You'll feel a little bit of the burn of if you've never you don't do a lot of drugs, do you?
Not too many. I did a little bit of what was the one we took at while we were watching?
You'll recognize a little bit of the quicksilver.
Yeah, the
feel,
quicksilver. Yeah.
But it's the blood needle that'll get you. But that makes you feel a little bit weird. It should, I don't know, protect you somewhat from whatever's out there. God, it's cold. Like starting to shiver.
Yeah, and the blood needle does warm you up just a little bit.
Like that.
But it's also going to it's going to make you colder in a minute.
Anyway.
What happened? What happened to Hix? To Bella? To Nadia?
Aldo calls out, Hix! Test! Jilly! Anybody? No call?
You
they hear me?
The response, you hear a response, which is, Yay!
I don't like that.
I think we're alone. I think we need to get out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Hix!
Yikes.
Can I survey to see if there's like somewhere to move away from whatever that noise is?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Right.
Roll it. Roll your survey. You want to push yourself? Come on.
Yeah, I'll push myself. 6.
Heck yeah.
That's it.
Varric.
Although
Varric, yes.
I haven't pointed this out, but I am still suffering the level 1 harm of anxious.
Lingering fear.
Lingering fear, which
lingering
probably
fear.
applies in this situation.
Probably a little bit. So we're going to reduce effect a little bit. The way we're going to reduce effect is that instead of putting 3 ticks into changing topographies, we're going to just put 2. So we're treat it as if it's just a 5. But you're going to see, you're able, like the fog is sort of clearing a little bit, and you think you can see the hill in the distance, but then it kind of looks like there's another hill. And then Aldo, you see a brightly lit thing at some distance, like probably 600-700 feet out.
Brightly lit thing looks just like light.
Yeah, a building. It's like it's incandescent. It's not ghost. It's not like it's like a gas lamp.
Okay. There, do you see? I think we could make it.
All right, fine.
And
Lead the way.
he'll take off. Splash, 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 splash.
Yeah, great. Let's make a prowl roll to see if anything notices you as you go.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Sounds good.
Both of us.
Just you,
I've got a 6.
Aldo. Okay, great. You're fine.
We're hot
yeah,
tonight, guys. This is it. Finally resolving some of our dramas.
team.
Yeah, you make it. Well, since this is just like moving you through the water, we'll just put one more tick into changing topography. So you're at 3.
Okay.
As you get closer, you step up. It's getting shallower again, and you see there's a tavern, which has a small light in it, and you hear someone playing a lute, and you like hear a little bit of conversation from inside. It looks to have like a barricade built around it, like they might be protecting themselves from ghosts.
Oh, for real. Aldo stops
Inside-
like in his tracks for a second.
Inside's better than out, right?
Assuming that these are people who are friendly to us. I'll let you do the talking. What you're good at.
I'm going to go up to the door and listen, maybe first, just to see if I can catch wind of any conversation here.
Yeah, you hear some conversation. People talking about how cold it is out. talking about the quality of the food, not like in like a restaurant way, but more in like one of our friends made some food and it seems all right. And as you're leaning against the door, it opens and a man is standing there with a rifle, and he goes, "You ghost, you ghost out there."
No, alive.
Absolutely
alive.
Filthy man.
I'm gonna touch
He-
forwards myself.
He like smacks your arm to feel it. Says, "He's warm. He's warm."
Please, we are lost, in need of assistance, and as you can see, in a bit of a bad situation here. If you could help us
There's
out.
another one who comes out. One of the barmen. He's got like a really ratty old bottle. It's the paper's long ripped off. It's been reused. Go ahead and make what's your roll? What do you think you want to do to convince them?
I mean, this feels consorty. Rather
Yeah,
than
it's very consortium.
swaying.
Yeah, it's a consortium.
Right, that would be a 3.
This is so good.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. The man grabs you by the neck, flings you inside, boom, back onto the bar. We're gonna give you a level 1 harm of like bruised back, unless you want to resist.
I will try to resist that.
Great. Yep.
And resisting it would be resisting it with
Prowess.
Prowess.
Yes.
6.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
man.
You're able to just like
Okay.
totally soften your blow. You're back. You know, you're actually getting quite good at dealing with hits that you didn't expect.
Aldo will take offense to that a bit and be like, "Hey, let him go."
We're all friends here.
Were you?
Standing in the doorway.
What turns back to Aldo.
We are lost. We are separated from our party. We just looking for shelter before we go find them.
They looked at their friends. You see one of the friends. He's like looking sort of like sleepy. He like grabs his face a little bit. He says, "Come inside."
I will do that.
Okay. You step inside, and Varric, something drips on your face. A black goo. And you look at the man standing in front of you, and you see that his arm, everything in fact that Aldo cannot see, is made out of what looks like a grayish tar. And as you look at all the other men around you, the entire tavern is melting to reveal that these are not human beings at all. And this entire place is a mirage. And one of them is going to leap towards Aldo, like human face expanding into this huge fanged demonic mouth. Go ahead and make a resistance roll against this level 1
which one?
harm of Aldo. Go ahead.
Should we state our loadout before we make too many more?
Heavy.
Let's do that. Let's state some loadout.
Yeah.
I went in heavy.
6. Yep. Don't normally, but yeah.
Ugh.
If the
Bardia,
cart didn't
Hix
tip you
girl?
off, then Bardia is heavy. Yeah.
We are in
Yeah.
death
Yeah,
lines.
I'm
I
fucking
am not-
strapped.
Yeah.
6.
Okay, yeah. You are able to slam back against the door. You slam back into the door, and as you do, the door starts to become liquid around you.
Does it get on
and-
me?
Just a little bit, yeah. It's dripping onto your shoulders. This entire building is collapsing around you and revealing the skeletal, like nothing abandoned building that this was. Let's jump back to Bardia, Hix, and the girl.
Let's.
So you guys are now pushing Bardia through this. How are you gonna? What is your attempt to navigate? What are you gonna do?
I mean, we're aiming for high ground. Is there any way that we can see the higher ground or like sense a slope beneath our feet?
Yeah. You could do just like a general survey or study to just try and get the
Yeah.
sense of where you're heading to get upward.
I will do a survey.
I will aid
Great.
Great.
for free.
For free.
Good.
Yep. So just get the die.
It's a 4.
Okay, so that's 2 clocks in your version of changing topographies. You see you start to get a sense of what might be the hilltop here, and you don't see any brightly lit taverns lighting your way. Instead, you see
Thank
as you're getting
God.
up on.
Sorry to interrupt.
As you're getting up onto some higher ground, Bardia, you're able to step gingerly onto a little bit of land. That you now see 3 or 4 ghosts that are in the street in front of you, just sort of milling about, and one of them turns its head towards Bardia as he steps onto the thing. They're still getting out of the water.
I have my hand on my piece, but I'm watching Bardia.
Great.
Do not be afraid. Ghosts are our friends. Stand back, please. And I will attempt to. I'll produce my.
Produce your what?
How about a? Let's make a little show here. A fine spirit mask.
Cool.
And I'll spend 1 more load to, if you're okay with this, Ted, to represent. Now we'll just go with the spirit mask, and I am going to try to compel the spirit and command it to flee to whatever our destination is. I guess the White Gate.
The mansions and the mansions on the high hill. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell it to flee, and in hopes that we can follow it.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to use a command or a tune?
Well, it's strictly speaking a tune, I think.
Great.
Because this is part of my special abilities.
Awesome. Yes, do it.
It's a 5. Okay.
Yeah, the ghost. You, Hix, and the girl see that the ghost approaches towards Bardia, so sliding forward through the air. And what does it look like when Bardia compels it?
I place my hands on the face of the mask, and then as I pull them away, all 7 fingers are glowing, and I say, "Halt! You are not welcome here. You shall flee. Flee to the district on the hill. Flee to the White Gate."
And it whooshes away with electroplasmic energy trailing behind it. We're going to, Bardia, as you have just taken a single step back, your foot is in the water, and we'll add 1 tick to the midwife's lullaby.
Okay.
And so you're going to
4-step clock?
It's a 4-part.
And we're 2?
We're at 2 of 4. Yep. Mm-hmm. So with that, you see, so we're going to put 2 more ticks into your version of changing topography. So we're currently at 3 and 4, which we're going to keep because we're going to now cut away from our friends who are in the Lost District. Bram, you wake up with a fucking terrible headache. You're lying under like a sheet on like a really thin little mattress. What do you do when you come to consciousness?
Spit blood.
Yeah.
Immediately try to locate the exit of whatever space I'm in.
Okay, yeah. You sit up, you're like trying to spit whatever you've got there. You spit and there's no blood. It's just you're looking down. You like you feel a scab on your lip from where you hit the ground, but no blood. You look around at the room. It is like sort of a jaundice colored yellow. The ceiling paint is cracked. There's a single thin nail hanging on the wall, like that's bent, that might have been used for hanging a painting once. And there's a wooden cup full of water that sits next to you on the floor.
Smell the water.
Yeah, it smells like Duskfall. The Duskfall tap, man.
I'll drink it.
Yeah, you drink the water. There's some light that enters this room coming through the door. There's actually no candles in the room itself, but the door leads out into a hallway that looks a little bit sort of better appointed than this. It's got a little like stand with some flowers on it.
Am I dressed?
It's open. Yes, you're dressed. You're wearing the same trousers you were wearing before and a different shirt. And the door is open.
All right, I'll look out.
Yeah, you stand up. You smell cooking, and you hear the clink of kitchen tools.
Is it a corridor that I'm looking through?
Yeah, there's a corridor, and you don't see anything. You just see another light. Like there's a stair that goes down. There's a little like upper floor, and then you can smell and there's light downstairs.
I'll go toward the food. I imagine I'm hungry.
Yeah, you head down sort of a few steps down the stairs and see Casimir. He is, with his perfectly polished shoes. He's sitting at the kitchen. Your foot creaks on the top stair, and he goes, "Oh, I'm woken up. I was worried you weren't going to."
Top of the morning.
And that is where we'll end our session for tonight.
Yay!
Woo!
Boy.
So, wow, everyone watching, thank you. Gosh, you really here for something absolutely wild. Very excited to see what happens next session. Whew, man, that was some crazy business.
Thanks, Ted. That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
thank you all. Just please tune in tomorrow for Moonshay. We're
Yes,
having
Moonshay
it'll last
Isles.
for a little while. Yeah, go ahead. Any more?
Yeah,
you wanna
we'll
tell us
take a
about,
little
Graham?
bit of a break. This is it's at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We're in now. We're gonna have some great guests on. So it's our final stream for the Moonshay Isles first half. We'll take a break and then we'll be doing the second half of the curated version of that storyline later on in the spring.
Very, very cool. Yeah, super excited for that. And
And then we've got Animon.
Oh yeah,
Animon's
yes.
Story. This is a show that we just premiered on Friday. It's going to be continuing every Friday, run by Emma Carter, and should be tons of fun. Like kind of a Digimon, Pokemon inspired RPG, original RPG, which is like really cool. So
It's a really fun concept. Yeah,
it made me
Stuff
crack
fun.
up my old Game Boy.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, and that intro is really delightful. Like Rebecca Muniz's art is so good. I think it's like some of the best that her like talent has been turned to. It's fantastic. Great for her style. Great. Are we hopping to a raid or what's our plan?
Yeah, let's see who to raid. We could send some folks over to Joshua Simons, who's another one of our
yes.
Jasper's Game Day supporters. He's
Awesome.
He's one of the ambassadors, and I think the coordinator for the ambassadors for that charity. So
That's awesome.
Cool.
We'll send it that direction.
Well, yeah, thank you all so much for being here, either live or later. We're excited to continue this wild adventure with you and promise the threads will come together. So, thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.